Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, my number 3 is Bioshock Infinite Burial at Sea Part 2
sweet.
DLC.
Dying to play it.
Yeah, it's on Xbox 360. I played it on Xbox 360. It's unavailable on other formats, obviously. I won't give away much about the plot because that's something that I should avoid doing. It starts with an optional and very brief recap of the original Bioshock, which should give people a vague idea of where we are. The opening is brilliant and really sets the tone because once again it sort of flits between being this gorgeous and slightly off-kilter dreamscape and then stuff that's flat out nightmarish. You play as Elizabeth, or do you? And you're constantly being talked to from somewhere by Booker, or is it Booker? I don't want to go into the plot. It's as cryptic and odd as Bioshock has ever been, and I am more than happy for it to be that. I know that's destined to upset some people, but I just like getting swept along by it a little. If you're not aware of it, this is basically a stealth game. It's all about managing health packs, sneaking around, and sort of. For example, you have to keep an eye on the floor constantly. You have to find carpet to walk on. You have to avoid glass and water. Melee kills do not work. If enemies are aware, if they spot you, you have to get out of dodge and then stealth it up again. So it's a hardcore stealth game. You can't there are action sequences spliced into it, and you do pick up sort of the odd weapon and whatnot. You can't there are big daddies in it again, and you can't kill them at all. So you have to just escape from them. And actually, that's brilliant because you're sneaking around, and the big daddy sort of noisily lumbering around, groaning. It becomes quite terrifying. That you really genuinely want to avoid them. Like any great stealth game, the balance is absolutely perfect. It makes demands of you in ways that some would say the main game perhaps didn't. And while there's a little flexibility here and there, you can go loud occasionally, but it's hard as nails. I mean, we're talking like one-shot kills or two-hit kills a lot of the time, and there's not a lot of money going around. There's not a lot of health packs, so you have to get. It forces you to get creative to avoid getting into those situations. You do, like I said, you die very quickly. Resources are very scarce, but that's what makes it so rewarding to play. Emblematic of the whole game, really, is this really brutal new lockpick mini-game where you gamble for equipment. If you succeed, you win a noisemaker to distract enemies, and if you fail, an alarm goes off. So it's really quite brutal. But once you get into the flow of it, I thought it was absolutely amazing. To be honest, I liked it as much as I liked the original game. I think.
Wow, I'm so excited to play it.
You've got to play it. It's really tough, but that's why it works. Especially when you consider that this is yet another game where you sort of skulk around in the dark. You have this new invisibility tonic, plasmid. What are they called?
They're called plasmids in Bioshock, and I think they were called tonics in Infinite, were they?
I can't even remember. That's terrible. But yeah, so you can go invisible.
Vigors.
You can. Vigors, that's right, yeah. But yeah, in addition to being able to be invisible, you can sort of see through scenery. I mean, we were talking about it earlier with Thief. It's another reskin of Batman's detective ability, which is the most influential gameplay system in recent memory, certainly. It's in every other game. It was in Ninja Gaiden, which I just spoke about again. Yeah. It's another thing. So you're skulking around in the dark and using that. But it's riveting. The whole thing, I was riveted from start to finish. It's really good looking and it's very substantial. I know people weren't happy with Burial at Sea Part 1 because it was so short, but as a package, I think anyone who's paid for the DLC season pass has got a bit of a bargain, really. Because I basically think it's a knockout. It's a knockout. Love it.
Yeah, I can't wait. It's just a matter of time before I get round to playing it on PC. Obviously, I love Bioshock Infinite. I loved the first Burial at Sea as well, despite it being a little short. So, this and I still need to play The Last of Us Left Behind as well. Two vital pieces of DLC for two amazing games from last year that I still need to play. But, they're going to get played. It's just a matter of time.
Yeah, well, honestly, Burial at Sea Part 2 is it's the real deal.